Tip of the day from a former cop member. Today's tip is protect your daughters. Protect yourselves if you're a young woman. But parents, you need to be aware of what happens to women. And well, let me say, I was in the cult Xenos in the 90s to mid to late 2000s. I don't know, my years are wonky, but it's now called Dwell Community Church, and there's other, what I would consider a cult. It is definitely a cult, and there's a lot of cults out there in high control groups that use the Bible to hurt people. And this is going to be hard. I don't know if I'm going to post this. I might just be making this video for myself and sit on it. But I want to tell you what happened to me. And that this story might be a little more extreme than some of the others, although there are some more extreme than mine that I've heard about what happens to women who get stuck in abusive marriages in Dwell Community Church. So I'll tell you, okay, I gotta make this 10 minutes. It's gonna be hard, but I was very innocent when I joined Xenos. I was a virgin. I was saving myself for marriage. I was already like that before I got there. I was Catholic and stuff. And you know, they teach the women to be vessels for their husbands, to keep their husbands from getting into porn, to keep their husbands from cheating. We are responsible, basically, to keep them sexually pleasured. It's our fault if they cheat or they do any of this stuff. It's like, well, were you pleasing them and that? But you know, so girls are supposed to be pure before marriage. Well, they're both technically supposed to be, but you know, it's really taught to us a lot more than them. They're taught that they're getting a beautiful wife. They're going to have a beautiful wife. It's going to be so great. And here's how you get your beautiful wife. Be this spiritual way that Dennis's family thinks you should be in their rigid way. It's only the only way. And whatever. So these boys are, you know, well, I know Jessica McNulty has posted some stuff on what they teach the girls in groups and what they teach the boys. So the girls are taught, you know, very different. The boys are taught, you know, they're going to be pleasured. They're going to be pleased. So my wedding night, and I'll say the main reason that I even got married was because I was afraid of going back into ministry houses. And I had a bad reputation. You know, I was also weird. I'm sure that didn't help. But, so I'm sure some of it was legit. Don't date her. She's odd. But a lot of it was, she is not dateable. She's rebellious. She's whatever. It was rebellious, autonomous, messy. Messy was my big thing, okay? That's the shit they wanted to kick me out for as a teenager. I was a teenager that lived in a ministry house, and that was my big thing that I was always in trouble for. This is the kind of shit they kick people out for. Most churches aren't like, man, you're messy, you know, repent. I happen to have ADHD, so I couldn't repent. I kept trying. I looked it up in Greek, found out it meant change of heart, and I was like, God, why won't you make me clean, you know? And I'm still fucking messy, all right? I'm much better, but I have kids now that are messy, so I'm getting my payback for being messy in the ministry houses. Anyway, I'm talking too much, but let me tell you that I married. Sometimes churches attract evil people that don't have empathy, that can thrive in a community where they play a prodigal son. People believe It's easy to put on a mask in a Christian community and pretend to be the person, especially with the rigid plans like the McCallum have. It's a very easy blueprint to follow to get yourself one of these women, these innocent girls that are being taught stupid shit that has nothing to do with Jesus. It's just a McCallum thing. Because Jesus wouldn't, I don't think Jesus would say, stay with the man that hits you. Stay with the man that abuses you in every way you can abuse a wife. Or you'll be excommunicated unless he cheats on you. Unless he has sex with another woman, you will lose everything in Xenos. You'll lose all your friends, your family if they're in there, if you don't stay until he cheats. I don't want to go through too much how my wedding night was because of my personal privacy, but I wasn't treated like a virgin. And it fucked me up. It fucked me up. And a lot of women aren't. They're treated like, why aren't you a porn star for me tonight? I worked hard for this. That's what happens to the unfortunate girls, because I would say most of the girls do get lucky and find a nice guy there. But there are girls like me, and there's a lot, and Xenos knows it. It well knows how many of us there are, because I've heard from some that have had worse stories than mine. I almost joined the military to get away from that man, because I wanted to keep God, and they were like, you can't unless he cheats on you. And my best friend, Jesse McCallum, started praying with the leaders that he would cheat on me so that I could leave him. And I finally stopped listening to him. I had to go against God and everybody I knew and disappoint them by choosing myself and feeling like I was wrong and not even God was on my side. It wasn't until he finally admitted he cheated that I was free, biblically. And then they couldn't excommunicate me. But then, that wasn't enough, though. Then it was, yeah, well, but the right thing to do, yeah, we can't excommunicate you, but the right thing to do, and I never recovered from that stigma there. I was like, do I want to stay single forever in this church when there's men asking me out at my work? So, I finally was like, my eggs are going to dry out here. Fuck this place. Started to date, finally in my 30s. Finally. So, I don't want to get into my privacy because it's already been violated enough there. But protect your daughters from that place. I look at my beautiful daughter, and I know now I didn't deserve that because I was just like her. That's my tip of the day. I hope this helps someone.